Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug, episode number 31 on Monday the 15th of June 2009. My name's Steve Layton and thank you very much for joining me again. Great feedback from the last one, and I know people have kind of said that the camera angles and stuff have been working out well, so thank you very much for coming back with that stuff. Been really pleased with it, and I'm going to get better. That's one thing we can be sure of. Bear with me a second while I just get some things prepared here. Just wetting my my Chemex paper, because we're going to be doing a Chemex today. So let me just get rid of this. Oh, there we go. And get my coffee that I've already weighed out, because I'm uber prepared today. Uber, I like the word Uber. I'm going to keep using Uber until they send me one. So, weighed out 35 grams of the coffee. So bear with me just a second while we weigh the water in. That's already just come off the boil, so I'm just going to tear this off, get rid of that. Okay, so instead of measuring the water in a traditional kind of using a line, I'm actually going to weigh the water out, because with the Chemex I need to top up the water as I go along, so I just find it's much easier and it kind of gives me far more accurate. So what I'm looking for 35 grams of coffee, I'm adding 400 grams of water. Now, I don't know if that's right or wrong yet again. This is what I do, it's what works for me. It may be that something works better for you, so don't flame me if it's not kind of perfect brewing. It's the way that I work, and I've been playing with this coffee for the last few days, and this is kind of where I found, for me, it's at its best. So, I'm going to talk about the mug. Mug that I'm going to use today is a staff mug, because we have a new member of staff at Has Been. That member of staff is Andy. Andy joined us about 3 weeks ago on the roasting side, but also helping on the packing side. I've known Andy for a little while, home roaster, been very keen to get involved with us. Used to work for a brewery, kind of gave up the beer and came for the coffee. So it's been great to have Andy on board, and yeah, I've stole his mug because I'm running short of mugs again. But I know that that will send some in, please. So, let me just top up the water here. Nice and gentle now, because, there we go, 400. So, that is draining through. So, the coffee we're going to talk about today is, funnily enough, a Kenyan, and it's called Kanjathi, and it's an AB kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Bean grading. So it's the size of the bean. Now you get AA, AB, and PB, which is Peaberry. And AB is quite often frowned upon as it's the poorer cousin to the come on, mine's really on rubbish, to the AA. But this just kind of proves all of that wrong, and it depends what's in the cup, not what the grade of bean is. Now, we don't know a great deal about this coffee. It's auction lot number 805, and 805 just means which auction lot it was, and it just denotes the kind of characteristics of the particular lot. The varietal, we're not sure again, but we think it's an SL28, and certainly from the cup profile, it tastes very much like an SL28. This just proves that there are lots of gems in the Kenyan market, and sometimes you just have to let the cupping table do the hard work, not necessarily the history or knowing about the farms and all of those things. I am trying to dig a little bit more out about the farm, and as we do find out more, I'll definitely put it up on the descriptors. And this is one that I'm going to be looking out for a long time to come, because it's quite different to the typical Kenyan profile that we've kind of grown used to. So, let me just take this filter out. Drop it into my bucket down there. Let me get my mug. Now, I haven't brewed a full pot of this, as you can see, because I'm using a rather large Chemex, and I didn't want quite that much for just in my mug. But it's the only Chemex that I've actually got here at the roastery. So the roast profile on this coffee, I'm just going to show you a shot of the roast profile. And you can see this is fairly light coffee, kind of very medium, light to medium, kind of looks a little bit kind of You know, it's not a pretty bean because of the way it's been roasted, but we don't care about that when it tastes as good as this. So, yeah, let's dive into the cup. And this is a very heavy dose of the Kenyan. I've kind of really been up dosing with it, and I really like it because of the big flavours that are involved in it. It reminds me very, very much of the best parts of Ethiopia and the best parts of Kenya. It's like two parts of Africa have come together. So on the front end, bright acidity. I mean, big, huge, sucking on a lemon acidity. Massive grapefruit. That kind of hint, not massively, but a little hint on the back end of the bergamot that you would get with a yogurt as well. A little tea-like, very kind of tarty, bright, clicky your mouth kind of. And then on the back end, it kind of just calms down a little, and it kind of goes, okay, enough of that acidity stuff going on, and it brings the very finest parts of Kenyan. So you've got that creaminess, the smoothness, beautiful kind of aftertaste. One of the best Kenyans I think we've come across for a very, very, very long time. Bought completely on its cup profile, not on its history. Bought completely on what it did on the cupping table, not on anything that it's done ever before for us. Like it very, very much. One thing, I've spent a lot of time with this coffee over the past week, and on the, as it's, God, what's wrong with me today? And I got told about that on the feedback as well, not to go and stop thinking and all the rest of it. But yeah, as it cools and kind of gets almost tepid, that lemon and that grapefruit is big obvious. And cold coffee isn't normally very nice, but this is delicious as it cools. And one thing I'm going to do with the hot weather upon us now is perhaps do some iced coffee with this one, because I think it's got massive potential with that kind of lovely lemony brightness going on with it. I really want you to try it. We're not sure how much we're going to have of this yet. At the minute we have 4 bags, and we're over halfway through the first bag already because it's been incredibly popular since we've put it on. But we are trying to secure a little bit more, and we're in talks with our importers about can we have a little bit more, because they're trying to parcel it out, make sure everybody gets a little piece of this action. But you know, we would like to worry about ourselves and not others, so we're hoping that we may get a little bit more of this too. So it could be around for a little while, but you know, a few months at least, I guess. But I'm going to pop a voucher code up below for you, as the way we do on these things. It's going to give you £1 off for the next 2 weeks. Again, we're going to try and keep these a little shorter. I know lots of you have been taking up the voucher codes. On a side note, if you're a newsletter subscriber and the voucher, you had a problem with the voucher, kind of sending out the newsletter, we're really sorry. We had some massive technical difficulties with the vouchers, but we've fixed it, it's sorted, everything's fixed now, so that voucher's still going to be valid, and we are going to extend it by a week on the end, so give you a chance to use that. Listen, thank you very much as always for joining me, and I really, really look forward to talking to you soon.